Mike Jones Beats.
BBN Jack Frost, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? I hope you all had a beautiful day. Hope everybody's day was beautiful. Hey, yo, check this out. We got some things to discuss. We got some not too happy things to discuss. And we got some, I guess, even not or too happier things to discuss. I don't know how to put it. But we got a couple of things that we're going to have a discussion about tonight. One of the things we want to talk about is YNW Lucci. Pardon me. YFN Lucci. YFN Lucci. He's wanted by the police. It's a felony murder. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the situation he's going through. And we're going to obviously talk about that. Also, we're going to have a discussion about some of these Trump things that's still going on, because some of that stuff still needs to be discussed. It just is what it is. And I also want to discuss Funkmaster Flex. For everybody that don't know, Funkmaster Flex had, I don't know if you're going to call it an interview, but he was like on live with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. And he said something that some people might consider to be ridiculous. So he basically said that Drake's catalog is better than Jay-Z's catalog. And we're going to discuss that. I'm not. You might not think that's ridiculous. You might think Drake has a better catalog than Jay-Z. Who am I to tell you who has a better catalog and who doesn't? But with that being said, you see that sun in the background. You see that sun in the background. You see that sun in the background. Boom. Boom. Buildings. Who am I to tell you who has a better catalog? I guess we'll go over it and we'll get your own opinion, get your guys' opinions on this shit. But before we do any of that, as usual, the first thing that we got to do is give appreciation to everybody that pulled up to the live this morning and pulled up to the saloon. So let's do that. Also, we plan on hopefully having our resident sports journalist call into the channel tonight. Eric Mack. We plan on having Eric Mack call into the channel tonight. We're gonna see just how possible that is. We're gonna see if he can make it. We're gonna see if we can have Eric Mack call into the channel tonight. I don't know what Flex is doing. I don't have the slightest idea. These dudes was making a ton of jokes about the shit though. I tell you that much. They thought it was hilarious. So shout out to Flex making Wallow and Gilly the Kid laugh. I mean, if you couldn't do nothing else, you might as well make people laugh, right? I guess that's the way the saying goes. I do not think that that's a saying, by the way. I'm just talking over here. That is probably not a saying. With that being said, let's go over the drops real quick from the morning live, and then let's do roll call and get right into the show. Why not? What's the date? The 12th. Shout out to Jody Spencer with the $14.99 drop. Shout out to DSTN. Ain't nobody calling you Dustin. I don't care what your wife says for the $5 drop. Shout out to James S. Where you see his smoking feet for the $5 drop. Shout out to Jody Spencer again with the $4.99 drop. Shout out to DSTN with the $2 drop. Shout out to DSTN again with the $2 drop. Shout out to James S. again with the $2 drop. Shout out to Team Moto Productions with the $15 drop. Shout out to Stacks on Racks with the $10 drop. Shout out to John B with the $10 drop. Shout out to Brandon Washington with the $30 drop. Shout out to John B again with the $30 drop. And shout out to John B again with the $10 drop. Definitely appreciate you guys. You guys are all the best. Everybody's the best. I appreciate whenever you guys like, comment, subscribe. Even when you just pull up to the chat, drop some comments down there. Let's get a whole bunch of frosts if y'all don't mind. Let's get that chat rate up a little. Let's trick YouTube into thinking there's a lot of people in here. Let's get that chat rate up. Let's drop some frosts in the chat. Let's do this roll call real quick and then let's get to the show. What up, Tracy B? I haven't seen you in a long time. She said, hi Frost, how are you? Been a minute. Yes, it have. I hope everything's been going well with you, baby girl. How are you doing? Who else we got up in here? What up, DSTN? Ain't nobody calling you Dustin. I don't care what your wife says. Hope everything's going on good with you. He says BBN with Frost around it. Hey, what's up, BBN? We got BBN Network in here. And apparently BBN Network thinks that we should pull up to the to their website, which I heard is absolutely spectacular. I can't believe more of you aren't over there. He also thinks we should pull up to the BBN apparel store, which is, I mean, they have some stuff that I'm surprised other people aren't trying to steal the content yet. It's crazy. And the Cash App. So BBN, shout out to BBN. That's the trifecta. Who else we got up in here? What up, Angel Crispin? How you doing today, my brother? What up, DZ? Salute to DZ. Salute to BBN West. He says salute to the chat and Frost. Appreciate you. What up, INS Coles? Dropping some frost over there. Appreciate you, baby girl. What up, Emmanuel? We got Emmanuel up in the house today. He says, yo, what up, Goat Frost? How you been lately? I've been busy. I'm back. Shout out to Goat 9. Let's go. Let's go. Who else we got up in here? Let me see real quick. We're trying to roll through these real quick. What up, I rock with you, TV? How you doing today, my brother? Salute. What up, straight stacking? Salute. How you doing, my brother? Who else we got up in here real quick? What up to the business? He says whispering or yelling. I have no idea what that emoji means. But he got BBN. Salute to that. What up, Watts Games? How you doing today, my brother? What up, Aaron Jordan? He says Buffalo in the building. Salute to Buffalo. You already know what it is. What up, Exclusive? Haven't seen either one of you in a while. Hope everything is well. Alright, so hold on, I want to read this comment real quick. Casey Emmanuel says Funk Flex was ranting about Drake not freestyling the verse on the show, and Jay-Z music is like how he looks old. It's some classics though. I don't think Jay-Z is somebody that we can criticize music, period. And I'm not saying that we can't criticize Jay-Z's music because Jay-Z is some kind of god or anything like that. What up, Melville? I'm saying I don't think that we can criticize Jay-Z's music because Jay-Z evolved into whatever the culture needed him to become in order for him to be successful. And a person like that is dangerous. So I don't think we can realistically criticize a person's music, that he evolves his music to fit whatever his image is in conjunction with whatever's going on in that point in history. because there are a lot of rappers who get stuck in a specific time and they can't push their skill level, even though they have high skill level. Don't get this confused, but they can't push their creativity to be able to still put out music that's relevant. You understand what I'm saying, if that makes any sense? And I'm not just saying relevant as far as spitting knowledge, but I'm saying relevant as far as something that encapsulates what the culture is about at that moment. So not a lot of people could do that. So I think that Jay-Z is one of these rappers that's above reproach. I don't think that you can, I hate when my shirt does this. I don't think that Jay-Z is a rapper that you can criticize about his music. And I don't think that anybody has ever did that at the level that Jay-Z had did it. Because Jay-Z, people forget, his first album dropped in 96. Need I say more? Jay-Z first album dropped in 96. 96. 06. That's 10 years. 16. That's 20 years. Because I'm counting between the fingers. That's 20 years right there. 2016 was 20 years. So I just think that Jay-Z's above reproach. That's just my opinion. What up, Armin Brown? I mean, you could believe, or you could, your opinion could be whatever is dictated by your level of appreciation for his work. Manuel says, I was a sperm in 96. That's when he dropped his first album. Okay. So he's been rocking since before you was an actual person. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not really saying much more than that. So I just think that his music is above reproach. And also, we'll get to that because that's a whole nother conversation. But let's have this YNW YFN Lucci conversation because he's the headliner. That's the lead story tonight. YFN Lucci. Also, could we hit those like buttons, please? Could we get the likes up so we could tell YouTube that people in here, so we can send out some notifications if y'all don't mind? Because you know the haters is hitting the dislike button. So can we please hit the like button? We plan on having Eric Mack show up in here in about 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes. Eric Mack is going to show up in here and we're going to talk some sports. So we talking sports in about 20 to 30 minutes. I just want to let everybody know so everybody could be on point with what we're doing tonight. I plan on having Eric Mack call in as actually as much as he would like to in order for us to be able to discuss these sports topics. So that's all. That's gonna have to do entirely with how much he actually writes for our. What the fuck? I didn't get it. Another domestic terrorist arrested. All right. Okay. One thing at a time. All right. So close that window by accident. Alright, so let's discuss this YFN Lucci situation if y'all don't mind. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna pull up an article. I'm very self-serving. I'm gonna pull up my own article that I just wrote. So we're gonna pull up we're gonna pull up our BBN article. This is gonna be pretty self-serving. What up, Rude? Don't nobody see them dots, Jones. We're going to pull up our own article on our BBN website. Y'all have to go to the BBN website. If you have not been over here, you're missing out. As you can see, we have sports articles. This is the YFN Lucci article. We also have politics that we're covering. We're still also covering everything that's happening in the Breonna Taylor case. As you can see, you gotta just pull up on the website. Just come over here, check out a couple of articles, leave a couple of comments. Let us know what you guys think about what we're doing over here. We greatly appreciate it. All right, with that being said, let's pull up on this YNW Lucci article real quick. If anybody tell y'all Jack Frost ain't working, they lying. I'm just saying. If anybody tells you that Jack Frost and his team ain't over here working, they lying. BBN be over here working. So apparently, Atlanta police are asking the public for help apprehending YFN Lucci. They're offering $5,000 for info leading to the 29-year-old rapper's arrest and indictment, apparently. So I don't know if they're trying to say that they have all of the evidence against him that they need. Hold on, we're going to go a little bit further, because I don't see no reason for them to have to write indictment. But it sounds to me like, oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, in app, not a problem. I would assume that they have all the evidence that they need, not for nothing. I'll show you in a minute. We're gonna continue to read the article that I wrote. Shout out to Jack Frost. But apparently they're saying that they want an arrest and an indictment, but that's just the way that it goes, just generally speaking, for anybody that don't know. That's just generally speaking how it goes for anybody that don't know. Whenever you do these things, I believe they always attach arrest and indictment to it, not for nothing. I don't think that that's anything that's new. I believe that that's just something that they do. I believe that's just something that they do. As you can see right there, XXL Magazine has a, they posted an Instagram. As per TMZ, Rayshawn Bennett, that is YFN Lucci's real name. Rayshawn Bennett is wanted in connection to a shooting that happened in Southwest Atlanta that left one man dead. He faces multiple charges, including felony murder, aggravated assault, participation in criminal gang activity, street gang activity, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. They were two shootings minutes apart from one another. The second victim actually survived. Police say they already arrested two other individuals, 23-year-old Rayvon Boyd, 17-year-old Leroy Pitts, and they're now searching for YFN Lucci. Also at the bottom of our articles, if you ever want to be kept updated on whatever articles might whatever videos that we might have done on the channel that might, run concurrently with that or be in the same genre, you could just go down to the bottom, and then you could be able to also hit the like on these things. I never hit the like. Boom, I'm gonna like my own shit. And shout out to that. Yeah, pop up over here and hit some likes on some things. Do that. Anyway, as y'all can see, that's YFN Lucci right there. I'm gonna tell you something that's wild, right? I'm gonna tell you something that's wild, and this is the thing that absolutely kills me about just people in general when they're committing these crimes that they're committing. He committed a crime, or a crime was committed, whether he meant to commit the crime or not, whether he was the shooter or not. We don't know who the shooter was, just to be clear. As far as the way that I heard it, they're saying that he was in possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. So I don't believe that he was one of the individuals that actually fired a shot. What I think that they might want him for is one of these people right here put him at the scene of the crime, right? It was three people that survived. One of the people that got shot survived, and his two co-defendants, I'm gonna say, because at this point, if they go to trial, they're gonna be defendants. Rayvon Boyd and Leroy Pitts, they both survived. So it looks to me like one of those three people put him at the place and at the time. And this is what's happening. People be having a whole life ahead of them. They be winning. They be winning. They be all Sule. They be all the way winning. All the way winning. And then what happened? You run into some dusty MFers that do some BS that you can't let go, and then now you lost your fucking life. Now the next thing you know, the police looking for you, or you dead because you ran into some dusty people. And I'm saying it like that on purpose. What up, Derek? It says on the local news tonight, they said two others were arrested in Miami with some shooting. One person was killed. Another showed up at a fire station with a shotgun to the stomach. Wow. With a gunshot to the stomach. Wow. But this is what's happening. I'm telling you right now, this is what's happening. It's dangerous out here to be a known entity. Like, people, y'all don't understand. Like, it's dangerous out here to be known. It's dangerous out here. IG, and it's not IG's fault, by the way, might I add. You understand what I'm saying? It's not anything that I'm blaming on IG, because we voluntarily go on IG, correct? So it's not anything I'm blaming on IG. But social media, just in general, make all of us targets. Because you got a lot of people that go on social media on some super real shit. You got a lot of people that go on social media and they don't really got it like that, but they act like they got it like that. And then the next thing you know, they get robbed. I'm telling you. You got people that go on social media, they don't really got it like that, but they act like they got it like that. And then the next thing you know, they go on social media, they go out in the world, somebody see them, they get robbed. You know how many you got to understand how crazy the jealousy is nowadays. Jealousy is running rampant nowadays. I'm going to explain something to you. When I was a kid, you could have on skips. You just get made fun of a little. But that's it. You just get made fun of a little. You have on all of the skips. The skips, I remember, I once had, my favorite pair of sneakers once was a pair of skips. For everybody that don't know, Skips was like the no-name brand sneakers that you get off of the table that probably ran about $5-10. I remember there was a period in time where my favorite damn pair of sneakers was a pair of Skips. I wore them shits until I couldn't wear them no more. I wore them until my feet grew out of them. I'm not even lying to you. I'm going to tell you how skippy they was. Hold on. I'm about to tell you a super funny story. So, me and my brother was laying down watching TV and shit, right? We was like in the bed and shit. Come on, man. There's like a ton of us and shit, right? This is, so we was like it was like, how do you call it? He came over to visit, right? His mom's a different moms. So he came over to visit, right? So we was like watching TV, and we was like, I used to have a backyard. It was like a big ass backyard with a door right there, right? So we had like bunk beds and shit. So me and the nigga laying down, like, you know what I'm saying? Just fucking around, just like, you know, like everybody's like right there, just playing around. You know what I'm saying? Because there was nowhere else to sit, nothing like that. So I did something to him, like I hit him with some stupid shit. So I was trying to jump up and run before the nigga could get me. But my skips were so old and they had no groove on the bottom. Them shits was like this on the bottom. No lie. Them shits was like this. The bottom of my skips was like this. So when I jumped up and I tried to book it, my feet were like this. I didn't go nowhere. I swear to God, don't lie. Did the Shag and Scoob? You know when you hear when they do the noise when Shag and Scoob feet be moving like this, but they don't go nowhere. I literally did that shit until I caught traction. Until that's one of my favorite memories. I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot what I did. I think I hit him with some shit. I think he was like joking around or something. I wasn't a kid that played around much. I took joking around pretty seriously. I'm not gonna lie to you. You joke around with me. I was a kid. You joke around with me. I'll tell you that shit pretty seriously. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ah, man. I mean, I used to get flamed in school, but I didn't care because, you know, I didn't care. I didn't care. It's not like me caring was gonna have me not have skips. And then on top of that, mad kids wore skips, so it wasn't no big deal. You understand what I'm saying? Mad kids wore skips when I went to school. Mad kids, Nike and Reebok and Adidas, them shits wasn't out like that. Like, yo, what up, Liberty? What up, Bree Powell? This sniper. Liberty Hazleton. We got Liberty Hazleton up in the house. Yeah, so everybody had skips in my school. So what the fuck? It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, I'm in the Bronx in the 80s, man. Everybody had skips on me. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the traction control, that shit was, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one of my favorite memories. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, I don't even know how I got on this whole conversation, but somebody gotta help me out. But yeah, like everybody has skips, man. That's why it's not a big deal. But nowadays, like that's why I try to explain. Like nowadays, it's just different. You understand what I'm saying? ABS. Nowadays, it's just different. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody nowadays, you know what the skips is? The fake Jordans. Mad niggas got fake Jordans. Part of my language. There's mad people got fake Jordans. Don't get this confused. Mad people got fake Jordans. I'm going to tell you what happened. Nike and them put them all out of business when they started making actual Nikes that were Nike sneakers that only cost $30 and $40. So they put skips out of business. You know what I'm saying? They put all of them fake sneakers out of business. Because what happened is when you could go buy an actual pair of knockoff Nikes, but they really are Nikes, you could go spend $30 for them. Why are you going to go buy your kids some $10 skips that don't even make sense? You understand what I'm saying? Like nobody, and a lot of us grew up with skips. We don't want to have our kids wearing skips. Like you got made fun of, but it was like everybody had skips. The toughest kids in your school wore skips. Don't get confused. The toughest, the two most popular, shout out to Michael Miller and Scene. When I was in elementary school, to me, those was the two coolest niggas in the school. Shout out to Michael Miller and Scene. I think Scene had I don't want to tell people's business, but shout out to them dudes. I personally seen dudes with sneakers that nowadays we'd come like British Nikes. Niggas wore British Nikes. Y'all call them Bobos? Niggas wore British Nikes. It is what it is. I wanted a pair of British Nikes. I remember when I got a pair of Lottos. I thought I was the shit. Anyway, hold on. We ventured way far past the conversation. I apologize about that. You know I'm liable to do that. You know I'm liable to do that. So basically the problem that we have is that you have individuals that they have to be able to live up to a standard. So you got people that they see you living a certain life and they'll fuck your life up, for lack of a better term. They'll go get you involved in some BS that you don't got no business being involved in. Now, we don't know what happened with the YNW YFN Lucci situation, but I will tell you this. 3 people knew what happened. 2 people got shot that night. One of them died. The other guy got shot right after the one that died got shot, like minutes after. And the 2 dudes that the police already arrested. The 2 dudes that the police already arrested. He on a run. Did anybody check on Regine's crib? I'm just asking. That's a fucked up thing to say. But maybe he went to Regine's crib like, look, baby, I'm about to go away. I might go away for a long time. I'm gonna need some of them cakes. It's looking bad for rappers. I'm gonna tell y'all because the COVID hit. And when COVID hit, these rappers can't make their money. I'm telling you what it is. People egos take over in a minute. I almost had an ego situation the other day that could have got me caught up. And I had to just step back and take the L. Shit could have got me caught up. I had to think about what I had to lose in life. Like, we doing things over here at the BBN. I can't afford to get myself caught up in some BS. I got people that y'all don't even know about that is back here and they working. And if I blow, they blow with me. So I can't afford to go get caught in some bullshit. I can't afford to get in a situation where I'm going to be going to jail. I can't afford to get caught in a situation where I might get myself killed or somebody is going to try to hurt or harm me because they might see me doing well or seeing me do what they believe to be well, and they just want to they a black dude that just want to stop another black dude from winning. Because we got those. Also, let's get 5 to 10 $10 drops to the Cash App. Come on, y'all, let's go. So yeah, YFN Lucci. Anybody can tell me what YFN stand for, by the way? Yo, you don't know how important it is. Like, sometimes I get fucked up like that. Like, sometimes somebody will talk some shit to me and I don't remember. You know what? I just gotta back up and let that shit go. That's another reason why I think that trolls are evil. Because when somebody takes you out of your normal state of mind, then you're liable to react to shit that you shouldn't react to. And sometimes that split moment that you react to something that you shouldn't react to could be the difference. We don't use no incarnation of the N-word. Appreciate you, Fire Chief, though. I'm just going to remove the word. So we can't do that. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about the subject is because you got to understand, this dude did a crime with a 23-year-old and a 17-year-old allegedly. And then Emmanuel right behind them. God dang it. This dude did a crime with a 23-year-old and with a 17-year-old allegedly. You don't think nobody going to jail? You think he gonna get away? You think one of them two dudes is gonna take that case for him? Also, mind you, they're not saying he shot the person. Just so we can be clear on this. They're just saying that he was present and he had a gun on him. So that means that somebody talked. Either the second person that got shot or the two people he was with. Somebody talked. They're not saying he shot anybody. They're just saying he was present while the murder happened and while the shooting happened. Hold on. Let's look at these charges again. They're saying he faces multiple charges, including felony murder, aggravated assault, participation in a criminal street gang activity, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. So the felony was the murder. Right? That was the felony. They're saying he was in possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. The reason why he got felony murder is because if they were busy doing something together and the other guy shot the dude, he's still on the hook for the murder. Them giving him possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony is probably his only out if he feel like snitching. Aggravated assault. So did they beat the dude up and then shoot him? Participating in criminal street gang activity was the attack. That's the aggravated assault, the gang activity that turned into the felony murder that he also possessed the firearm during. You tell me. Why did that come out? All right, fuck it. I probably want it out anyway. If you're a RAOOER, what the hell is a RAOOER? I think them young boys talked. That's what I think. I think the young boys talked. He a whole rapper. He is not supposed to be out here getting into any kind of foolishness like this. He a whole rapper. What in the hell? These rappers is never gonna. I'm gonna tell you, that's the bad thing about being a rapper though. You have to keep your street cred up 24/7. So since you have to keep your street cred up and you can't take no L's, you have to consistently do stupid shit that's unnecessary. That's terrible. That's like the worst part of being a rapper. Kick Golden Gloves out of here. Boom. That's the worst part of being a rapper. That's the worst part of being a rapper. You have to keep up appearances. Yeah, throw some bags. I'm just tired of that dude. Every other day he comes in here and tries to distract me. So boom, you out of here. Go get another account. Yo, everybody throw some bags. Yo, that's the worst part of being a rapper. That's the worst part. Because if you're not stupid, you lose street cred. If you're not ready to go do things that's going to put your freedom on jeopardy, you lose street cred. He was already on Gang Time, homie. That had nothing to do, whatever they was doing, had zero to do, whatever they was doing had zero to do with, they was on Gang Time. They was on Gang Time. I hate when people do that, just call me in the middle of the show. They was on Gang Time at that point. Period. That had, whatever they was doing had nothing to do with security. Whatever they was doing, security wasn't even supposed to be there with them. That's my point. That's my point. So there was no let security handle it. If that makes sense. Anyway, let's get Eric Mack over here real quick. Let's pull Eric Mack up. See if Eric Mack is ready. Don't know. Pull Eric Mack. We're pulling him up right now. He's about to tell us about all these sportsy things. Got all these things that's happening with them. I was about to say something that was just gonna be sound stupid, so I'm not gonna say it. But he's gonna tell us about the sports shit. I'll tell you that much. You got that on. You got that on call. I kind of messed up with this other stuff. Hold on. Got Eric Mack right there. He's waiting. He's in the bullpen right now. He's like, I'm ready to go, coach.
You?
You hear him? You hear Eric Mack? I wonder if Eric Mack can hear us. Hold on.
I can't hear
you. Okay. Okay, my fault. Eric Mack can hear us. Hey, so Eric Mack, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, not much. Good evening.
All right, so before we even get into the sports thing, yo, what do you think about this? First, what do you think about the YFN Lucci situation?
I think it plays right into your hand because doesn't he date Regine? So, Regine might be single. You know what I'm saying? Might hit her up. But,
we're not gonna wish people in jail though. But she might be single. I might need to try to jump in them DMs and shit. Like, look, I know I'm as old as your pops, right?
Right. But yeah, YFN, I don't really know much about him. Only time I really heard about him was when I think he was beefing with Young Thug about a year ago, maybe a year or two ago. He was beefing with him over what I do not know, but I know they were sending shots back and forth to each other on social media and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't really know much about him besides him beefing with Young Thug and him dating Regine. But yeah, I mean that the whole gang culture you mentioned is rampant in Atlanta, especially. So I could definitely see him doing something ridiculous to like you said, continue that street cred, continue that credibility, even though, I mean, that doesn't really get you anywhere. I mean, he's not selling. That's not going to sell him records. It's not going to give him any hits. But he'll have street cred. So there's that.
That's a fact. All right. So you wrote a couple of articles today. Tell us about them. Wait, before we talk about that, what do you think about Funk Master Flex? Did you see the clip with Funk Master Flex?
I did not see the clip. I saw something earlier today about Funk Flex. I was on like Facebook or something, or I was somewhere, and he had released a top 50 list of his like top 50 rappers alive, MCs that are alive, and it was a pretty solid list. But I just skimmed through it. I didn't really look at it. But yeah, I missed the whole Jay-Z thing.
That's a Jay-Z bar, by the way. That's a Jay-Z bar, by the way. Do you listen to it, or do you just skim through it? That's a Jay-Z bar, by the way. So okay. Jay-Z's great.
Yeah, he had a list.
Keep going.
He had a list up. I might post it later or do something with it. But yeah, he had like a top 50 list, and Jay-Z was probably like 1 or 2, I believe. He actually had Drake at like 5, but then he had like an asterisk by his name that says questionable pin, and then he had a bunch of other people in there. But yeah, I know he's always going at Jay, and or he went at Jay in the past on the radio, and then he goes at Drake a lot. But yeah, that's all I really know Funk Flex.
So Funk Flex said, we're gonna get to your sports. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
So Funk Flex said that he had Drake over Jay-Z. That's what he said, homie.
Ah, damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Cause I wouldn't see Funk Flex taking that stance or doing that. Cause he was the main one besides Meek Mill. He was the main one who was harping on the fact that Drake had ghostwriters.
Yes.
When that came out, so it's odd that he would put him above Jay-Z.
What he said is that because he was talking with shout out to Gilly the Kid and Wallow. So he was talking to Gilly the Kid and Wallow, and what he said is that if not for the fact that he had those reference tracks, he would have put Jay-Z under Drake. But the only reason why he's not gonna put Drake over Jay-Z is because of the reference tracks that Drake was getting. And I'm busy saying to myself, do you know the songs that Jay-Z wrote that ain't even his? Jay-Z wrote songs for Dre and Snoop.
You're right. Chronic 2001. Chronic 2001, exactly. But yeah, I actually found that list that Funk Flex had put out earlier.
Tell us what it is. Tell us some names on it real quick. The first five.
The first five are Jay-Z, Andre 3000.
I don't got time for this. I don't got time for this fucking dude no more. So he got Jay-Z, Andre 3000, and then he's gonna also go and say that he would have had Drake. Oh, I'm not doing this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He got two names, and neither one of them shits is Drake. You get it?
On this list, he has Drake at 5.
This motherfucker, pardon my language. What the hell? But do you understand what his argument was? He was busy trying to say that if not for the reference tracks, he would put Drake over Jay-Z. Right? That's what he said.
I'm assuming so,
no, that's literally what he said. I'm not even mincing words at this point. Mm-hmm. So how in the hell did he just put out a list that got Drake at 5?
Right, and he put this out 4 hours ago.
This rat bastard. I'm trying to tell you. And now, wait, did I guess right when I said top 5? Name the top 5? I guess right? I'm good at this.
Top 5 is, Jay-Z, 3 Stacks, Nas, Rakim, and Drake.
Boom! I'm good at this. Let's go! Anyway.
But, his list is cool, I guess. But I could see if he... I guess the criteria, it says skill level, bars, body of work, and impact. Those are his four criteria.
That's good criteria.
Yeah, so he has it's a solid list. Going from 25 back down to 1. You got Remy Ma at 25, Redman at 24, Fabulous at 23, Busta Rhymes at 22, Cameron at 21, Big Daddy Kane at 20. Mace at 19.
That's low for Kane.
Styles P at 18. Kanye West at 17. And then he has asterisk by Kanye. It says questionable pen because he said they have ghostwriters.
Okay, first of all, Kanye used to be a ghostwriter himself. Drake also used to be a ghostwriter. So the point in which I'm trying to make is Drake used to ghostwrite for Lil Wayne. So Drake used to be a ghostwriter also. Kanye also used to be a ghostwriter, but I'm not going to go there. Because I'm just not gonna.
Yeah, a lot of, especially for Kanye, when speaking on Kanye, like, when he brings in younger artists to help him out, he'll be inspired by them for whatever project or body of work he's working on at that time being. So, for instance, when he brought in Big Sean in 2008, Big Sean helped him on the next couple projects.
That's
and
a
then
fact.
When he brought in Kid Cudi to the fold, Kid Cudi helped out with 808s and Heartbreak.
Oh,
Same
that's
thing
one
with
of.
Sahara Prince and.
Could I just say that's my favorite? I'm sorry for cutting you off. That's my favorite Kanye album. That's my favorite Kanye album by far. Just by far, that's my favorite Kanye album. By far.
Yeah, I love that album. It had to grow on me at first. I wasn't really into like a lot of the songs on there, but then over time it grew with me. My favorite Kanye West is like my favorite rapper. In my lifetime that I've of course I like when I was younger I like Ludacris and Nelly and those guys. More commercial guy. Well, Kanye's commercial too, but overall, just Late Registration is probably my favorite Kanye West album, just because I've listened to it and like I bought it when I was like a young teen, and listened to it probably about a billion times at this point. But my second favorite Kanye album is probably My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Wait, hold on. Which one is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Because I think I get that one mixed up with 808s and Heartbreaks. Which songs is on that one? Is the Pusha T song on that one?
Pusha T on. Yeah, the Pusha T joint.
Okay, so that's the album I like.
Yeah.
That's the album I like.
Yeah, that's like my favorite. That's like my second favorite Kanye album, and Late Registration is the first. So yeah, Kanye's like my favorite. But yeah, I don't know where he's going now. I mean, his last few albums, I didn't really like. I was raised on gospel music, and I didn't even really listen to the Kanye gospel album. I listened to a few songs, but it was what it was. I'm anxious to see his new direction, but some of the songs he's put out recently have just been lukewarm. So, but I think he's more into fashion now and dropping shoes and whatnot. But yeah. But yeah, jump back into this list I had. 16 is 50 Cent. 15 is Eminem. 14 LL Cool J. 13 Lil Wayne. 12 Slick Rick. 11 KRS-One. 10 Black Thought. 9 Jadakiss. 8 Pusha T. 7 Kendrick Lamar. 6 J. Cole. 5 Drake with the asterisk next to it. 4 Rakim. 3 Nas. 2 Andre, and 1 Jay-Z. So pretty solid top 25. He has another. He had like again. I said he has. Again, I said he has 50. I'll probably post a link or write an article or something about that later.
Okay. So let us know about the sports articles that you was writing today, my brother.
All right. Yeah, I wrote an article today.
Which one we going over first?
I wrote an article today that was more so just a continuation of an article that we wrote, or that I wrote, or that we both wrote a couple weeks ago, or last week, about the Eagles throwing the game against the Washington football team. And it was
you don't even know what to call those guys, right?
Right. So it was kind of funny to see them get rid of the coach of the Eagles a couple of days ago, or yesterday, or a couple of days ago, and it was more so, it wasn't necessarily because of the tanking in the last game, but it more so just coaching and the front office, the general manager and the owner couldn't come to terms on what they wanted to do with the future of the team or what direction they wanted to go. Kind of had the feeling that it was either Carson Wentz or it was going to be either Carson Wentz or it was going to be the coach, Doug Peterson. They had an ultimatum. Now it's going to be interesting to see. Now that they got rid of the coach, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Carson Wentz, because he has a big contract that takes up a lot of salary cap space, and they just drafted a quarterback last year, Jalen Hurts, who was playing towards the end of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do go with a quarterback position. But the Eagles overall don't have a very good roster. They really need to just bring in some good pieces. Their general manager isn't good. You know, he's been there. The general manager has been there since Andy Reid left. As you know, Andy Reid went to the Kansas City Chiefs and won a Super Bowl last year, and was a great offensive coordinator or offensive-minded coach. Their general manager for the Eagles has been there since Andy Reid left. So after Andy Reid left, they got Chip Kelly from University of Oregon. Mm-hmm. He didn't pan out. Then they got he left after a couple years, and then they got Doug Peterson, who actually took them to a Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. Then they got rid of him 3 years later. So it's interesting to see where they'll go from here. But they haven't brought in enough talent to keep the ship afloat. And I kind of feel like that's more so on management as opposed to coaching. But I guess getting rid of the coach is easier than getting rid of the general manager. I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting. I do want to add something though, right? So
okay.
What team did Jalen Hurts play for in college?
He started off with Alabama. He lost his starting position to Tua Tagovailoa, and then he transferred to Oklahoma, and I don't even think he didn't have to sit out for some loophole. There's a loophole in the.
They let him
usually
play.
When someone transfers to another college, they have to sit out a year. But there's a loophole in his situation that he actually got to play that next year, and he actually went to the national championship game against the LSU Tigers, which is my favorite college football team, and they lost last year in the national championship game. So yeah, and he won the Heisman. He won the Heisman at Alabama, and then he transferred to Oklahoma.
Guess what coach is up for coming to the NFL?
The coach of the Oklahoma Sooners. What the hell is this guy's name? Lincoln Riley.
So guess who it is believed that he might go and audition for? I don't know what you call it when you go. I forgot what you call it when you go to try to get a job interview. Interview when you go.
Just interview.
So guess who they said he was gonna go probably interview with?
The Eagles.
Exactly. So
Yep.
I think that you hit the nail more on the head when you were saying what are they gonna do with Carson Wentz's contract, because I believe part of the reason that they had a problem with at the Eagles, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, is that there's always a belief that when you have a player that is getting a lot of money, you have to play them or that coach is going to be in trouble, because we can't be paying this person a grip and they sitting on the bench. We're not doing that. You feel me? So what happened was the Eagles messed up. You made another comment about how they had a bad general manager, which they do. Because what people fail to realize is, what some people might not remember, pardon me, is that Carson Wentz got hurt the year that they actually won the Super Bowl, and the quarterback for them when they won the Super Bowl was what's this guy's name? Nick Foles, who's currently with the Chicago Bears.
Correct.
So Carson Wentz didn't even do enough to earn that contract that he got. So now they're stuck with him. Why? Because of the general manager. Because it's obvious that the owner of the team wants to move on. There's no other reason why you would draft Jalen Hurts. Correct?
Correct.
So I think you hit the nail on the head with that. I'm very happy to have you over here writing sports for us, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right in that whole situation, but I don't know what the Eagles want to do. Like, I mean, they were one of the teams that never won a Super Bowl. So it's just like they won one, and then it was like, and some people say, oh well, Tom Brady and them, they gave him that Super Bowl or what have you. Nah, they won one. You know, I give them that. Like I said, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I wasn't cheering for them to beat the Patriots. You know what I'm saying, the Super Bowl, but it was what it was, and I saluted them, but. After the fact, and I got a lot of Eagles friends who are fans of the Eagles, so of course they were talking trash and whatnot. But I don't see, like, you can't Super Bowl winning coaches don't just grow on the tree, just don't grow on trees. Those type of and a lot of people said Doug Peterson took too many risks. He was willing to gamble on fourth and short or. Fake punts and all this stuff. You know, he always took risks on the field, but at the end of the day, I just think that he wasn't happy with the level of talent that they were bringing in, and they weren't giving him full control of the team. Like, for instance, they didn't draft key pieces that they need them. Like, for instance, they had no wide receivers really this year, and they passed up on DK Metcalf, who was the wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, who's like a young stud.
No. DK Metcalf is their running back. Pardon me. He's number 24. He's their running back.
DK Metcalf is a wideout.
Okay, so
number 14.
Who am I thinking about? 24 on the Seattle Seahawks.
I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna go with you because I don't know players like that, so I'm gonna assume that you are 100% right. But I'm gonna also Google it because I need to know who the running back is on the Seattle Seahawks because I want to make another reference. But keep going.
Okay. DK Metcalf, who is like this young stud wide receiver. This dude's like 6'4", 240s.
As a matter of fact, I know exactly who you're talking about. He a whole beast. Keep going.
Yeah, and they passed up on him for I forget who. And then this previous draft, they passed up on Justin Jefferson from LSU. It was like all-world wide receiver prospect. They passed up on him for like a no-name guy. I think his name was Jalen Rager. I forget which college he went to, but it was in a big-time school, and he didn't produce as much. Justin Jefferson was probably one of the Rookie of the Year candidates for the Minnesota Vikings. He was just off the charts this year, and they passed up on him. And that could have been a weapon that Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts could have had. So, yeah, it's a lot of – the front office has made a lot of mistakes. Not only that, Deshaun Jackson, who was, as you remember, he got in trouble last summer for making those comments about the Jewish community. And he was like, he's a good speed receiver and he gets down the field and he can get separation, but he's always injured. So that gave him a bunch of money to not play. He didn't play. I don't think he played like week 11.
Who is the running back, right? I'm thinking it was the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm thinking he's number 24. He's not on the Seahawks, so I'm thinking about a different team. I need some help. Who's the
Beast Mode?
No, not Beast. Come on, man. I'm talking about this year. Who's the running back that they threw an interception to the other team, and then the dude was out, and the running back chased him all the way down and tackled him?
That was DK Metcalf, but he's a wide receiver.
God dang it! So I had the right person. Why the fuck I thought he was a running back?
Yeah, because if you would have said that at first, I would have said, yeah, that was DK, because that was like the highlight of the year, because they threw the interception at like the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And he was in the end zone. He ran like 80 yards and caught dude.
That's a fact.
He was 30 yards behind dude and like ran and caught him. It was the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. And what's my guy's name?
And that was a fast guy he caught, by the way.
Yeah, Buda Baker. He caught Buda Baker, who's a safety for the Cardinals. Russell Wilson threw the interception, and Buda Baker, he caught it around the 3 to 4 yard line. Tried to take it back to the house. DK Metcalf just young. He just like fucking ran down the field like 4.2 speed.
And so the Eagles passed up on him. They need to fire. They need to fire so many people.
Exactly.
They need to just be walking around the stadium like, you gone, and you gone, and you gone. They need to just be firing people. Why the hell they pass? I don't know. Shout out to those guys. Anyway, they're just a rat's nest over there. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so just so we can be clear, everything that you wrote on this article, everything that we're discussing now, from what I'm hearing, just my opinion on it is you are 100% on point. Not just that, you pointed out another thing that was extremely something when you said something about the GM not being good. And the reason I keep bringing up that the GM wasn't good is for the simple fact that one of the things that the GM did that I considered that was stupid was that the team themselves rallied behind Nick Foles. The team themselves, they really didn't like Carson Wentz. Nick Foles was liked. He was one of those guys that, for anybody that's never played any kind of like sports, team sports, you have those guys that just galvanize people. They galvanize people, pardon me, that people just rally behind. And from everything that I heard about Nick Foles, like that's who he was. He was just one of those people that every team he goes to, the players love him. They play harder for him. And if you've never played on a football team before, you don't know how it is to have a quarterback that you have faith in and you just play harder for that person. In contrast with a Carson Wentz who he's the prototypical quarterback. He's the right height, strong arm. He could sit in the pocket, but that's not necessary. And I think that's what the GM probably got stuck on. And then that's why I don't think the GM wanted to draft Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is short, ain't he?
I don't know his exact measurables. He's not like six. He's not Carson Wentz's height. Carson Wentz is like 6'5". He's probably at 6'2", maybe 6'1", 6'2". To piggyback off of your last sentiment,
6'1".
To piggyback off your last sentiment, they like you said, got to galvanize the troops. Nick Foles, it was reported that teammates, when they went on that Super Bowl run, teammates built a shrine. They built a shrine to Nick Foles in the locker room.
Boom.
They love Nick Foles.
Boom.
I kind of feel like that's why Carson Wentz, and it's funny to see a grown, like, adult men, like, still try to, like, I guess it could be like a camaraderie or they still try to fit in. Like, for instance, Carson Wentz, he wanted to be loved by the team. They said over the years he developed a better relationship with his teammates, but I could definitely see he was trying to go too hard. I'm gonna say go too hard, but he'd be trying to, like, go and make contact, and if he had a quarterback run, he'd be trying to, like, put his body at risk to prove to his teammates that he was tough, or that he had grit. And I feel like that got him hurt. That got him hurt a lot.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, and this is just my opinion, and we're gonna move on because we gotta move on. But I'm gonna tell you what it is. Some things you just born with. Some things that you've just been cultivating as far as your personality for your whole life. It's just been cultivating in you, right? Carson Wentz hasn't necessarily been cultivating the type of personality that allows for himself to be accessible to his teammates as much as Nick Foles did. Nick Foles is just more likable. So even though Carson Wentz is the more, talented of the two,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Foles is just the guy that the guys want to go out there and die on the field for.
Right.
And I think that that's the biggest difference between the two. And I personally think if they would have kept those two guys together and just kept doing what they was doing, Carson Wentz, he gonna get hurt by the 7th-8th game of the season, and he just handed over to Nick Foles. They might have won a couple of chips. They would have won like 3 or 4. I'm just saying what it is, man. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to this next story. What's the other article that you wrote?
Yeah, so my next statement is actually going to segue into that. Like you said, leadership is an intangible that, being a leader of men and galvanizing your teammates is an intangible that, isn't measured. My favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys, kind of had that with Dak Prescott. I'm not the biggest. I don't think that, like, I'm a fan of Dak Prescott because I'm a fan of the Cowboys, but I'm not the biggest fan of or believer in Dak's arm. I don't think he's the super accurate quarterback, but like you said, he gets the team going. Everybody wants to play hard. Everyone gets motivated for him. So that's immeasurable.
That's a fact.
But back to the Cowboys, they had a terrible year this year. Had one of the worst, or the worst the worst defense in history for their franchise. I think they gave like 473 points, which is the most they've ever given up. The last 3 games of the season, they did get 10 turnovers, which was solid, but it wasn't able to save their former defensive coordinator's job, which I wrote about last week. Nolan was fired because of that. He was friends of Mike, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, who brought him in, so there was some sort of nepotism and cronyism there. But after that, he still wasn't able to save his job. They had to go in a different direction because of not only the poor play that was seen on film, but also there was some backbiting and rumors going across the media. The first beginning part of the season were anonymous quotes from players in the locker room where the defensive coaches didn't know what they were doing. They had them out of position. They didn't make adjustments, things like that. So the writing was already on the wall.
Okay, just so we can be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we can be clear. What happened? Your article says Cowboys hire former Atlanta Falcons head coach as defensive coordinator. That's what they did.
Right. So they hired Dan Quinn, who was a former head coach of the Falcons. He was released, or he was fired after the first 5 weeks of the season with Atlanta. Any of our NFL fans in the chat know that the Cowboys beat the Falcons in week 3 of the season, I believe, or week 2, and they came back from a 25-point deficit.
Shit.
So they were losing 20. They were losing like 28-3 or something ridiculous, maybe 35-10. I don't know, but they were losing something ridiculous, and the Cowboys came back and beat them, and had like an onside kick. Which, if you know anything about onside kicks, the probability of those being successful is like highly unlikely. They had like a lot of weird stuff going on in that game, but he was fired after week 5 of this season. He's a great defensive-minded coach. He was actually the defensive coordinator for those Seattle Seahawks teams that went to the Super Bowl. He was one of the architects of the Legion of Boom with the Cover 3 system. Richard Sherman and those guys, Cam Chancellor and whatnot. But his defense has been, since he's become a head coach, his defense has been under the microscope, and it has gotten a lot of scrutiny. We all remember the Super Bowl game, the Falcons against the Patriots, in which the Patriots also came back from a 25-point deficit and beat the Falcons in that Super Bowl. Tom Brady and them did. So
it's a fact.
He's even though he's a great defensive-minded coach, he kind of needs the pieces, and he has had some checkered marks on his resume as far as giving away leads or blowing the game. So it's going to be a working process. It's going to be interesting to see what players he brings in. Maybe he brings some of his retread players, some of his older veteran players from the Falcon days or the Seahawks days. Interested to see what players or defensive players the Cowboys draft this year to fit his scheme. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do this year, because the defense needs a big overhaul for sure.
All right, so we're gonna all admit that the Cowboys obviously need some help, because when you have players that come out, didn't the Cowboys have some players that came out and said that they didn't play hard every play or something like that?
Right. Yeah. Xavier Woods, who was the starting free safety for most of the year, said that players shouldn't be expected to play hard every play. Like, you're playing 72 plays, it's impossible for you to run 100% and sprint 100% and get to the ball 100% every play, which is understandable, but you shouldn't say that to the media, especially after you're on a losing streak. And they're questioning, especially when you're on a losing streak, they're questioning your desire and heart to play, and you guys are giving up a bunch of points and yards. So that's not the best time to say that you guys aren't playing hard every play.
No.
Not at all. So.
Not only that, so maybe he needs less plays. Maybe they need to be like, hold on, they got you playing 72 plays, homie? How about 5? We're going to give you 5 plays. We want you to go all out. You think you can go all out for 5 plays? Maybe that's what they should do. We're going to pay you per play also. I just want to throw that in there. 5 plays.
Prorated contract.
There you go.
But yeah, I doubt he's going to be here next year. That was Xavier Woods. But yeah, we actually did find a pretty solid, strong safety this year named Donovan Wilson, who's like a dog. He's always giving those hard hits, and he's always flying and getting to the ball. So I think he'll be here next year. But yeah, we got to overhaul the defense in the draft, possibly get some young cornerbacks, young safeties, and young defensive linemen to help out this defense.
Okay. Anything that you might have coming forward that you've been looking at coming up in this week that you're thinking about writing on?
I just want to keep an eye on. I'm gonna keep an eye on. What's my guy's name? I'm keeping an eye on Kyrie Irving. There's a lot of stuff going on in Brooklyn as far as him not playing as many games and just sitting out. Like, for instance, he missed last week's game the day after the storming of the Capitol.
That's a fact.
And as you know, Kyrie's very political minded and woke, if you will. So a lot of the movements and agendas he kind of sees ahead of time. So he wasn't really trying to be a part of the. I think the NBA, the players came out the next day and held hands and did all this goofy stuff. So yeah, he wasn't trying to be a part of that. The kumbaya stuff. Even before the bubble, I don't. He made statements about not, trying to redirect the narrative and things like that. So he's very narrative conscious. He knows about agendas. He knows about uh, invisible hands, visible hands in the pot. So yeah, I keep an eye on Kyrie, because even though he's not talking to the media really, I wrote an article about that about 3 weeks ago, about him declining to speak to the media, because they usually use what he says as sound bites, or try to parse his words, or cause division.
The same thing that happens to him is what people try to do with me whenever they try to take my words out of context and stuff like that. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Try to trip him up. Just try to trip him up, and do basically like the people in the trolls in the chat. So yeah, so he took a sabbatical, or he took a break from the media and doing all their stuff. But it's interesting to see how Kevin Durant and Steve Nash deal with him missing certain games and whatnot. Yeah, because they do have the load management type of system in the NBA, where you can kind of rest your players and whatnot, and they don't have to play all 82 games, which I can see him doing. But the media is going to complain about it and say, why isn't Kyrie playing tonight, and this, that, and the third, and why did he miss 2 games, or what here and there. So it's going to be interesting to see how the media and Kyrie and Kevin Durant coexist in the upcoming weeks and months.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, I definitely appreciate you pulling up to the show today.
Sure.
I'm busy looking at something. I'm trying to find somebody so I could just kick them. We was busy talking. They came into the chat. I want to just kick them, but I can't kick them. I don't see where they actually spoke at. All right, so definitely appreciate you calling in. As always, I appreciate you calling in. I like talking sports, not for nothing. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. Maybe we should just do a sports show at some point during the day. We need to get a sports show together. When we get a couple of more sports writers together, I want to just have. I want us to start just have a sports show, probably about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, if possible. We get a couple of writers,
okay,
and then we could have real discussion, real sports discussion. A couple more sports writers. Definitely appreciate you calling in, my brother. Eric Mack, everyone. Y'all have to go over to the BBN website. You have to go check out this guy's writing. It's incredible. I like it. I enjoy it. It keeps me apprised of a lot of this stuff that's going on out here. It's definitely worthy. Thank you, my brother.
Appreciate it. All right, BBN.
Later. Okay, I'm trying to get the damn thing. Boom. There we go. Shout out to Eric Mack. I appreciated that. I got a chance to talk some sports today. I don't always get a chance to talk sports. I like sports. You'd be surprised. I mean, not just because I'm a dude and have a Johnson. But I mean, that just came out of left field. I just like sports in general. I think that we need to endeavor in more sports just in general. Probably a lot of these dudes is jerks. A lot of these dudes is jerks because they never play sports. Sports is humbling. Sports is humbling when you get on that court with that dude that you don't like and you can't beat him up and you got to figure out how to be. He's nice and there's nothing you can do. Sports is very humbling. Anyway, could we have this conversation? We kind of just spoke with it a little bit with Eric Mack a minute ago, but could we have this conversation about let me move this over. Could we have this conversation about Funkmaster Flex and how he might be going crazy? I want to have that conversation. How Funkmaster Flex might just be going crazy. Because at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I had Eric Mack read that list purposely for the first 5 names. Because I had a feeling, for everybody that don't know, Funkmaster Flex said that he would have Drake at the top of rappers of all time. If not for the fact that he gets reference tracks For everybody that don't know what a reference track is, let's say I'm a rapper, right? Let's say I don't really make music or whatever. I don't really want to be a big rapper or whatever, but I have a song, and I have a song that will work perfect for you. So I send you me doing the hook. I send me giving you the melody. I send me giving you the concept, the idea, bomb. You listen to that, and now you make a song out of that. That's what Drake does, apparently. And I'm not knocking that, and I'm not trying to shoot at Drake. I personally don't think there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the way that you go, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with ghostwriting. I don't think there's nothing wrong with any of that. I think the problem exists when somebody try to say that they're the greatest rapper of all time, but they're doing that. You can't do that and say you're the greatest rapper of all time. Drake has one of the best lines I've ever heard in hip hop when he says first name greatest. Wait, he says last name. Wait, what he says? First name greatest, last name ever, or something like that. I forgot. Y'all know how that line go? Let me know. It's on the Sprite commercial. That's one of the greatest lines of all time. So I like Drake. I also think that Drake is one of the few rappers that have been able to navigate the changing of times. But if you are having somebody write you reference tracks, that's going to really help keep your career alive. Because you're going to be able to, that's like keeping the ear to the streets. When you have somebody writing you reference tracks, that's like keeping the ear to the streets. That's like somebody making sure that as long as things are changing in the culture, you're staying in tune. And I think that that's a feeling that a lot of that's something that a lot of these rappers do. Don't get it confused. Like, I'm gonna give you a best example. What do you think happened when T.I. decided that T.I. was gonna go do some music with last name ever, first name greatest? There you go. That's one of my favorite lines of all time. I think that line is lit. Now I say all that to say this. Why do you think people go do songs with Lil Baby? Because Lil Baby is lit right now. So they go do songs with Lil Baby. Why Lil Baby charging so much money? Because Lil Baby writing this damn song. I know some of y'all don't know that, but Lil Baby writing a damn song. Lil Baby writing a song. That's why Lil Baby's like, yo, I'm charging X amount of dollars for a feature. He ain't really charging no money for a feature. He charging that money for you to write you a song. I'm gonna charge $20K to write you a song. Not a problem. You want me to write you a song? $40K, $400K, $200K. I write you a song. There's a lot of people right now. I'm gonna put you on the game. Some of y'all favorite rappers you never met and you don't know who they are. Some of your favorite rappers you never met. You don't even know who they are. You don't know who they are. You want to know why? Because they sitting in the studio with your favorite rapper. I'm not blowing nobody up because I don't really care about this. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I just want good music to come out. So I wouldn't blow anybody up. I don't care about that. But I could blow up a ton of rappers that do that. I could blow up a ton of rappers. No F words, please. Your whole admin, please, no F words. I know a ton of rappers that do that. A ton. The majority of these rappers out here now, they got long careers. What you think they doing? I'm just gonna keep it a stack with you. What you think they doing? You see, because they still witty. The wit ain't go nowhere. The ability to write a bar didn't go nowhere. The problem is they need help making it sound like this era. The ability to write a bar ain't go nowhere. If you could write a bar, you could write a bar. Big Hat said, first time I heard a reference trap was Future Drunk in Love for Beyonce. He said he didn't get a dime. Future ghost wrote a lot of shit. Reference tracked a lot of shit. Hold on. Who else referenced a lot of shit? What's this dude name? Young Thug. That's why they recycling all the old hooks, and yeah, they don't got no choice. You gotta look. I'm just the best way to put it. Listen. These drugs are shortening rappers' careers. I'm going to say this again. These drugs are shortening rappers' careers. Right now, if you could write a good song and you don't care about being in the limelight, Neo, yeah, The Dream, yes, absolutely. There's others. These drugs are shortening rappers' careers. See, because all a rapper gotta do is keep his brain good. But when you stay up all the time, you don't really get no sleep, you're using all the drugs in the world, what do you think is gonna happen to your brain? What do you think is gonna happen to your brain? When you out here, all the drugs you could get a hold of, you're using. You're not getting no real rest, no real sleep. You aging yourself a couple of years every month. Y'all seen how, what's that dude that they just took to rehab? He could barely talk. How he still a rapper? Who the dude they just took to rehab? He could barely talk. But you know why they had him messed up like that? Because he could still make that low vibration stuff. You know how many hits they probably got off of him? Where he could barely talk, but he could, that low vibration. They said Kerry Hilson did a lot of Beyonce songs. Isn't there a point where they were trying to say Beyonce was a writer? Famous Dex. See how that dude is? That dude is all the way messed up. Why? No F words at all. I don't even want the AF because I just stopped somebody from putting in the F with a whole bunch of other stuff. But I get it. I'm not kicking you or putting you on nothing. I'm just going to erase the comment. I just don't want nobody using no F words. And I keep getting people trying to creatively try to figure out a way to use them. It's annoying me a little. But not talking about you, Chanel Simmons, other people. The people aren't annoying me. Just the want to use the word is just, it's getting a little tiresome. These dudes are straight drug addicts, man. Nah, you good. Don't worry about it. You ain't do nothing wrong. You good. Yo, these dudes are straight drug addicts. Straight drug addicts. I had somebody try to call me a drug addict. Did I look like a fucking drug addict? What the fuck? I have people trying to call me a drug addict. Me. I don't think Wayne probably is on the lean anymore. But I've heard some stories. I don't think he's on the lean anymore. But I've heard some stories. All of them was getting doped up when they were young. You ain't hear BG? BG already said it. BG was talking about how they was getting hot. Shout out to BG. BG had an interview that he did about 7-8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago or something like that, when he was out. He did an interview, and he was basically talking about how lean and just dope in general was just pushed on them. They was all doing dope. I'm just telling you. And BG was damn near crying when he was giving the interview. He was talking about it. He was like, that's why he not mad at Wayne, because he know what they did to him when he was little. He understand what Wayne went through. He said he feel bad for Wayne. Anybody else seen that interview, or is it just me? Am I the only one here that saw that interview? He's like, I ain't mad at Shorty. He's like, he's seen what he had to go through. He know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was talking about Wayne. He was like, you know, Birdman did him dirty. He's like, baby did him dirty. Also, the dope these guys taking ain't the dope that these people in the street is taking. Alright? Also, just so we could be clear, I wouldn't be surprised if these dudes done had organs removed and replaced, but that's a whole nother conversation. Wayne just looks terrible. I believe Wayne looks terrible. Wayne looks absolutely terrible. I feel bad for the young man. Wayne looks terrible. He looked like he'd been doing drugs for years. He looked like he'd been doing drugs for years. I don't know what he's doing right now, but he looked like he'd been doing drugs for years. Wayne is one of the first people that actually, and this is the thing that kills me, and this is another reason why, I mean, I'm not upset at the dude or nothing like that, but he was one of the first people I saw trying to, like, make lean like a thing. I remember when he was talking about what he puts in his lean. I didn't say nothing about fake. I didn't say nothing. Hold on, big hats. Hold on. I didn't say nothing about organ harvesting. I'm saying that sometimes they gotta go get shit replaced. That's a fact. They get on lists. What the fuck? You don't think these rappers be getting on lists? And these actors and these other, they get on lists. They do it legally. I'm not talking about nothing illegal. Talking about nothing illegal. You don't think these people that had all types of different stuff going on with them? I have no idea if Wayne is still drinking lean, just so we can be clear. I'm not accusing him of that. But what I am saying is, I remember when he was trying to make the shit popular, when he was talking about double cups, and all them dudes was talking about double cups and triple cups and all this other stupid shit. Remember that? Remember, I forgot who it was. I think it was Wayne. And he said what happens is, so he could remember how much he drank, he keeps stacking the cups so he could count the cups so he could know how many he drank. And I was just like looking and thinking to myself, like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely insanity. I'm only talking about legal stuff. I don't know nothing about any of that other stuff for me to be able to have a conversation about it. There's enough people on YouTube that talks about that type of stuff that are way more versed than I could ever be, so I wouldn't waste my time. Nope, they did not find lean on the plane. Stop making stuff up, Juice now. We might need to kick Juice now. Don't kick him. Don't kick him. He just making stuff up. He's just making stuff up. Let him make stuff up. Just know that Juice now is just making stuff up. I'm just going to let everybody know that. I do not know if he's taking lean now. I'm not accusing him of that. They found weed on the plane. And they found guns on the plane. That's what they found on the plane. Weed, guns, and money. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Very happy we had Eric Mack come on, did sports. I think once a week. Nah, we're not doing that. You're not just gonna put that on the dude and then try to say, well, I wrote, I might have been mistaken. We're not doing that. Come on, stop. You know they ain't find no. You were just saying something to be saying it. Come on, stop. He did have a seizure on the plane a couple of years ago. It happened to him and it happened to Rick Ross. One of them it happened to twice. They had a seizure and they had to bring the plane down or whatever the case was. Liberty Hazelton said Wayne is 100% still on lean. I don't know. I don't know. I don't hang out with any dope fiends. I don't know many. I'm not gonna say hang out. That's not fair because I don't think Liberty Hazelton hangs out with any either. But what I'm saying is I don't know. I don't see enough of Wayne to be able to tell what kind of drugs he is or isn't using. I know he looks terrible. Terrible. I know that. I don't know if that's from drug use. I don't know if that's from not sleeping. I don't know if that's just from partying hard the previous 30 or 40 years of his life. I have no idea what it is. It looks terrible. He probably needs to cut that hair. You know what? Wayne would probably not look so bad if he just gets rid of that hair. I think that hair... I was saying something else and I just caught myself saying something else and I didn't want nobody to imply anything. So that's why I said that. I said something, and I know that people like taking my words out of context. So I just didn't want anybody to imply that I was saying something that I wasn't saying. So that's why I said that. Yeah, he needs to just cut his hair. He needs to just get rid of his hair, just all of his hair immediately. He needs to just get rid of all of it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It looks terrible. I don't know why he has his hair looking like that. I don't know why nobody has told him that he needs to get rid of it. I don't know why can he get rid of it, or is he just can't get rid of it? I don't know what the fuck it is. That's one. Two, if he's not gonna get rid of it, he needs to always be wearing one of those things like the dreads be wearing, like the Rastas be wearing, to make sure that his whole entire all of this is always covered up. Yes, I know about the impeachment. Yeah. That's a fact. Lil Wayne, it's crazy that Lil Wayne is as old as he is, and he has to do touring like he got to do. Like, that's crazy. Like, how you little, that what happens when you don't own none of your masters. That's what happens. That's what happens. He ain't own none of his masters. He just got ownership to them things and then immediately sold them off. I don't know. Shout out to them guys. Shout out to them guys. I guess he don't got to do that now though. He came into money that he was looking for. I guess he don't got to do it now. He got enough money to get Tory Lane. He got enough money to do all types of different things. I told you we need to kick Juice Now. Everybody read Juice Now's comment. Told you we need to kick him. See how he's gonna try to change the conversation, so I have to try to force him to talk about that this whole entire time. He's just a distraction. Now you see? Admins, do whatever y'all want to do. I don't care. Yeah, he got him back and then immediately sold them. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of honey buns. That's a fact. He gonna be sitting in there like this. You gotta have honey buns piled up. He gonna be playing with honey buns between his fingers. You know how people do like the coins between their fingers and shit. He's gonna have the honey buns doing this shit right here between his fingers with the honey buns. I'm not sure when Tory go to court. I'll check it. I'll try to find out for you. There is no article. There's no article. He's just making stuff up. There's no article. He's just making stuff up. What the heck? I don't think there's an article. I'll say it like that. Just pay attention to his comments. He's always trying to distract me. That's why I don't read his comments. That's why I just look at him and just be like, okay, man. And I just go on to the next person that was talking. Oh, you just playing along? They gonna make him perform Lollipop. Oh man. Yo, I'm gonna let y'all go tonight. What time is it? It's going on 11. I've been trying to go to sleep early. Um Y'all want to have a Donald Trump conversation, don't y'all? All right, fuck it. Let's have a Donald Trump conversation. Trump had a speech today where he said that basically that he was not even in any fear of the 25th Amendment. That he was in no fear of the 25th Amendment. That the 25th Amendment was not even a thing that he had any concern for. And then he went on to keep spitting the same rhetoric that he's been spitting. I think he was in like New Mexico or something. And he kept talking about the same rhetoric that he's been spitting. Look. Please stop, everybody. Why is everybody always trying to figure out a way to use a word I don't want used? No N word, no F word. Those are hard words. Those are like, there's no getting around those words. Those are hard words. He's telling on Gunna, Trina, Nikki, BM, even Gilly. What is he telling on Gilly about? Gilly and Wallow up there doing that thing. Them dudes is winning. This is... the hell? I gotta go. I gotta go. This is important. This is uber important. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.